We are back in action, baby. We are live. We are live. Mm-mm-mm-mm. We are live every day besides Friday and Saturday. So 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. every single day. Well, 5 days a week, but still. And futures are green. Just a little bit. Just a tad. How are we doing? How is it going out there? First, Jennifer Hendricks, me too, Dan the Man, Terrence, Connor, Chris, the Win Lambo. What's up, Coolio? What's good, bro? Me too, Dan the Man, David Hoffman, holder of the shares, became a member, baby. Look at that. Looking good. Looking good. Hector Rodriguez, what a day for AMC. Yeah, that was a wild one. Not first, but definitely not last. There we go. There we go. Nazareth Gates, what is going on? Bro, is the squeeze here? I think we'll see in the next couple of days. Tyler in the house. Let's go. It's up 2 likes from me. Yeah, hit the like button. Don't short the like button. Hey, check out the timing on Executive Order 14032. Executive Order, like a President Executive Order? Biden brings more troops and sanctions to NATO amid rising fears of Russian chemical warfare. 3 pressing threats loom large over the summit, requiring the alliance to figure out its response and whether military intervention would be needed. That includes mistaken fire on an allied nation, cyber attacks on a NATO member state, and the possibility of chemical or biological warfare within Ukraine. NATO leaders are also expected to announce more humanitarian aid to Ukraine, particularly the embattled port city of Mariupol, a fresh round of sanctions and new pressure on Moscow's energy sector. Young Biden in the building, baby. Killing the game. The Philippines pivot towards China. Could change when Duterte steps down. Interesting. Okay. Futures are up 0.22% for the NASDAQ. Dow slightly green. Oil up 1%. Again. Brent up 1.37%. But the most alarming thing is the bonds right now. That was a pretty big move down today in bonds. Sad. Love your channel, bro. Well, we love you, 305 Lifer. Dan the Man, could we expect some downside with AMC next few days? Well, AMC's definitely got a lot of momentum, and so does Apple. Have you guys seen Apple? What the hell is this? That's wild. But let's go ahead and move this one. We've seen a lot of momentum today. A lot of that back and forth, though. Like, some candles were 3% candles. So it was very volatile. I honestly don't know if we could expect, like, big downside. I think it's really going to come down to, can we break out past these key levels, and what are the headlines that we're getting? We really struggled around $22. Like, there was a lot of shorting and algorithmic trading programs that were trading around keeping AMC under 22. You know, came up, approached that. Look at the candles, though. Look at these candles. That was a 3% move up. Once you get close to 22, almost 3% move straight back down. You chill out, you're pretty flat for a while, come back up. And this was crazy too. Every 4 candles, you seen a big green candle. 4 candles, big green. 4 candles, big green. Once you hit 22, right on 22, came right back down. Lost about 1.5% in the next 2 minutes after that. And then same thing right here. Went up, touched 22 flat, came straight back down. And then we finally did break it on a 1.4% candle, and then straight back down with a 2% candle. There's a lot of people that want to keep this stock under 22. I think that's the real question here. And from what I can see, there's something going on behind the scenes in the market right now. Like you could see it with TLT. We're down in after hours. We were up a lot though. If you pull this up, we had a strong move towards the end of the day and in the beginning of after hours here. Look at that move on bonds. You don't normally see that. Even a 2% move, you hardly ever see that. Here was a day, that was March 2nd, but we have had a lot of volatility. But like a normal times, it's pretty rare to get a 2.19% day, especially when the Fed is raising rates. Then again, the yields have went up a lot recently, so it might be a consolidation move. But if this continues to climb and you continue to see TLT go up, that's gonna be a big red flag, because that shouldn't be happening right now. You're still, if we pull this out, you're at that end of 2019 levels right now. So if it goes back up, it's not gonna be a good sign. Smash the like button. There we go. Edward Morgan in the house, baby. Brandy, you talk too much before you fix your glass of wine. There we go. I actually like wine sometimes. Pretty good. Get ready for the sequel 22. That's what it looks like. Heard insiders say it. Really? Oh, did you hear anything about AMC going back up to $48? I mean, there's a lot of options that came through today. Some were very interesting. Yeah, a 90% positive order value with $60 million worth of orders. But $19 call, $22.50 call expiring tomorrow. At $55,000 on a $22.50 call expiring tomorrow. That's kind of wild. And they paid $1 for it. So they're betting AMC closes tomorrow at least at $23.50. Or they lose $50K. $55K. Unless it was like a quick day trade. But $30 calls. $61,000 trade. More 30s. Couple $30 trades. $35 calls. What's that one? A $20 call, but that was $600,000. $47 call. That's a kind of weird strike, a $47 call, but 35 again, 30. Like all of this is call activity, or the $90 call for just a second. Did I get clapped? Am I here? Am I here? Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Cyber attacks, damn it. What the hell? Fucking Russia. All the shit I talk about Russia, it wouldn't even surprise me. YouTube has been bugging out recently though. But look at that, $145 call for January 2023. That's wild. You could say they're going to flip it out, but still, that is that's far out. What'd they pay for that? $1.22. Are we here? Fight back. Yeah, let's get the hackers on them. If you know how to write code and hack some shit, email me. But yeah, it doesn't look like shorts are really even covering too. I mean, 21.11%, it's the same estimate, and Ortex is usually pretty quick when you see these rallies to lowball the short interest. You know, they love doing that. So pretty interesting. And then the cost to borrow, utilization still is staying the same, 100%. Huh? Oh yeah, slight green, but you know, at this stage, kind of why I'm not really tripping about the bonds, because they have come down a lot. But I think that's a key to pay attention to. Like, this was the COVID move. Bonds went crazy, like pretty much straight up, and it was a really good trade. They just gapped up like $20. But this whole time before, you know, people knew about the pandemic. You know, even back here in January 17th, like people knew about it, but nobody really expected it to turn out like this. But the big money, they always know something before we do. And I don't think that's too crazy to imagine that. And you see the money start to flow into it. So it's not like shit's gonna hit the fan tomorrow. But to see a move like that, if that continues like the rest of this week, you know, I'll be looking at this a little bit different. But it'll get interesting. And basically, to sum it up, the higher it goes, the more fear or uncertainty. Said, what's your email? It's tylertrades12345@gmail.com. I was kind of in a rush to make it, but you're getting attacked by Martha Stewart. Oh man, that would be funny. That would be funny. Boy's a white hat for someone. Can't say anything else about that. Oh shit, we gotta hit him back. Now YouTube's been just messing up all the time. Jon Snow killed his cousin because he found out she was preggo. Solved. Oh, I love that show. I think I still have to watch the last episode, I believe. They're hard to find, I feel like, sometimes. To get all the seasons, you gotta like order it. More likely, it's the FTD starting to be covered because of an upcoming SEC transparency. That could be true. That would explain a lot. I mean, because if you think about it, sure, Ryan Cohen bought shares, but is that the craziest catalyst we've seen in the last couple of months? Probably not. And if the short interest is not even starting to go down, you'll really see by Friday, though, or even by tomorrow, you'll see like what happened on Wednesday as far as return shares. If you don't see any spike here, then it's gonna be even more bullish. Then I think that would be a reason to get a little excited. But always keep expectations grounded too. But I don't know, it looks good. Like, even look at the days to cover. At 3, that's wild. The last rally we had days to cover was at about 1.39 when we squeezed in June. So it's much harder to get out of all of those short positions now than it even was. Why did Weeble put BBIG on margin? That's a good question. That's a good question. Oh, up 7%? Jeez. Yeah, that's wild. Okay, BBIG. There you go. Is there news on it? Does anybody know? It looks good. Oh, the kiddo. The kiddo. 15 $3 BBG calls that expire Friday. I was worried until after hours. Yeah, those should be good. Got my drink? Okay, go see your mom.
Mama right here. Come on. You want juice?
Or they will only let you purchase on margin. Yeah, that's usually a sign of something. Haha, my account was green for 4 minutes as opposed to the 11 months it was red. I'm obviously winning. Choke on that. Pretty much. How tight the Bollinger Bands are contracting due to volatility. We getting paid. Oh, well. Yeah, they were. They were, huh? Yeah, and I mean, they could widen out a lot more, too. Like, you could get into, like, this kind of volatility, where they're just super wide. BBIG, though, what the hell is going on with that? Like, looking at stock twits, everybody loves posting news there. 7%, though. Huh. Yeah, is there any news on that? A 7% move. That's kind of wild. Your daughter is so cute. Yeah, she's funny. She's funny. Her bond's doing crazy today. Yeah. Yeah, they're looks like a little bit of a fear move. Definitely. I mean, to see them up 2%, it's not like it's impossible because we have come down a lot. But if this changes a trajectory here and starts to go up, that shouldn't happen. Really due to all the interest rates we are starting to expect. But even just a couple of days ago, which is not that long ago in the grand scope of things, the federal funds rate, the Fed monitor tool, is now pricing in a greater probability of a 0.5% rate hike. That should do the opposite to bonds. They should be going up. So when you see them go up, well, see the bonds going down. When you see the bonds going up like that on a 1% down day, you gotta think something's weird about that. Shit. But pretty flat overall. The Dow's nothing. S&P up a little bit. Nasdaq up 0.19%. Oil up 1.33%. That's also another I guess, call it a bearish sign, because oil and commodities, when they go up, the markets historically go down. But yeah, BBB, that's an interesting move. Look at that fucker in after hours. Tyler, what are some good indicators to watch for doing well? Should we add up the total volume each day, and let's volume and share price go down together, then we possibly hit the high? I think you'll know, honestly. You'll see crazy volume, like that billion share volume, and then the shorts covering too. That's gonna be a big part of it. Yo, say AMC. AMC. See, she's not feeling it. Look, go. She got my drink. Say BBIG, AMC, to the moon. Say to the moon. Say to the moon. Got it? To the moon. Say we getting paid today, baby. Okay. Yes, I'll take it. Close enough. Close enough. Ling ling. Ling ling. She just rolls in. She doesn't even care what's going on. God bless you, Eric. God bless you. Price target on BBIG. I mean, you could go pretty high. This can be a very explosive stock, as you guys already know. I mean, you could hit these high levels. Why I asked about a catalyst is because BBIG has a huge catalyst coming at some time in the future. Let's see if we can go ahead and actually read on it. Hold on. Yeah, so it's this BBIG stock. How does the Tyde, TYDE, crypto spinoff dividend actually work? Vinco Ventures has been in the news a lot recently. The company has made waves with its social media venture via the Lemotif app, which stands to challenge TikTok. It is leaning hard into its non-fungible tokens as well as with an investment in projectable ENFTs. Yet the biggest piece of the puzzle that's exciting BBIG stockholders right now is the coming crypto spinoff, Tyde. The incoming crypto acquisitions outfit will be launching on Wall Street under the TYDE ticker symbol. But how does it all work? And then, long story short, we're not going to read the whole article. It says the announcement of the Tyde spinoff was made in September 2021. Anyone who holds BBIG prior to a designated record date will be eligible for the dividend spinoff payment. The announcement from November 2021 gives investors some key details they are looking for regarding TYDE stock. A dividend spinoff sees a corporation divest its ownership interest as a stock dividend to holders. In this case, eligible holders will be anyone. I can't read tonight. It's been a long day. Anyone who owned BBIG prior to the announced record date. This announcement is also a key catalyst for shareholders, as it has been pushed back a few times. Investors have taken to social media to share their hope to have a new record date soon. When this record date comes, I think it meant to say once this record date comes. Vinco will pay out the stock dividends to these holders, according to the press release. Vinco is distributing this dividend in a 1-to-10 ratio. This means that for every 10 shares of BBIG one owns, they will receive 1 share of TYDE stock. Vinco expects there to be 19 million shares of Tyde common stock after the spinoff. The company expects the dividend to be tax-free, and those receiving TYDE stock will not sacrifice their BBIG stock positions. So yeah, you have a like a special dividend, if that's what you want to call it, coming from the spinoff, and you'll get free shares of Tyde. So that's going to be a big catalyst. And when you see a 7% pop on BBIG, when it's been pretty docile during this whole thing, definitely makes you sit back and wonder. Usually you'll see these kind of moves, like if it was announced and the actual record date was announced, you probably would see a 20 to 30% pop in after hours, maybe more than that. Who knows? People get really excited around dividends. But a 7% move, you can see people, obviously, with inside information that take on big positions before it's announced. But with a catalyst like that, you want to be in really before it's announced or before the actual record date comes. Because once that date comes, you're going to see people sell out the stock. People only want it for the special dividend and the trade there, which I don't even know what to call it. Special dividend, spinoff, whatever. You guys get the idea. So that's going to make some really big moves, and people get really excited. Like, that's what happened back here. I believe that's what caused the rally back here as well, was that news. Yeah, it said September in the article. It was announced in September. Stock went from $2 to $12, and then back here from 2 something to $540? Was that the high? $5.49 was the high. So yeah, $2.16 to $5.40. So yeah, looks like it could be good, but at the same time, it might be even better just to buy leaps on the thing, honestly. Let's see, because if it's announced, I mean, hopefully it's not like pre-market they announce it, because I would like to get some shares just because. Yeah, $91 for $3 calls. That's not bad, just to be able to catch whenever it'll come. Yeah, the call activity here is wild, though. 65,000 at the $5 strike, 25,000 at the 450, 40,000 at the 420. Like, if this does get announced soon, yeah, you're gonna see some wild shit happen. $5K shares of BBIG at $290. Damn. He said, what if I own contracts? You wouldn't get paid out the you wouldn't get paid out the what's it called? The dividend. But yeah, I would be careful with that, because sometimes just depending on your broker or what the date falls on when they do it, you can be liable to pay out. But if you're just playing it for the hype, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But 7% move, that's kind of wild, honestly. What's that put the stock at? 318 right now? 318. Yeah, and BBIG does have decent short interest as well. They do. BBIG. It's not like insane from what I could tell if I remember correctly, but yeah, positive order value of 50%. 3 orders totaling 198,000. So I would doubt the announcement would come out tomorrow. It might just be. Hold on. Let's look at that, because this is interesting. This would be a really good trade. That's a lot of volume, though, kind of. There's got to be some news on it, though. To see 40,000, 43,000, 43,000. Yeah, there's got to be something on it. Any bubbles to short? Apple. There's not really any bubbles, though, right now. But Apple has been going up. And it sounds crazy to short Apple, but I think Apple's going to be hit hard from the lack of extra money, the lack of stimulus. I think it's going to be very hard for Apple to beat its previous year's revenue numbers. I think it's going to be very hard. And they've just been going to the moon. Like, no breaks, nothing. Today they were up almost 1%, and the markets were down over 1%. But not really any bubbles, I wouldn't say. What did GME do today in after hours? Yeah, down 4%. If the momentum switches to BBIG, that'll be insane. See, still not a lot of activity. This is what I like, right? You guys probably have been here the whole time. If you're coming in just now, then it won't make too much sense. But, since I just typed in stock twits, you've only seen 26 new BBIG posts. Whereas when something has a lot of attention, you'll see hundreds or thousands of posts within a very short amount of time. So this is what you actually want, is to buy in when there's less activity. Not financial advice, not a recommendation, but that's when I make the best trades is when there's not too much attention. Maybe people are making videos about it, though. That's possible. Trey made the video and it was up 23% the next day. That could be possible. Lots of volume, though. That's interesting. Yeah. So every meme stock is up after hours except Amy and Jimmy. Pretty much. Will Mead. Oh, this guy? So 4 hours ago, roughly 6 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock when this tweet came out. You can't see the time on these, can you? I would like to see the time. Yeah, roughly 6, 7 o'clock. I mean, that would make sense because this was pretty damn far into after hours. This was not like a quick pop and rally. It was pretty decent. That might be it, though. That's a pretty big Twitter following to talk about. I'll go ahead and follow him. But a couple of you guys have asked about Eastman Kodak. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean, Kodak's up almost 3% in after hours. That's one he talked about too. Just want to kind of see for 1 second, guys. Just bear with me. I'm kind of trying to see what a reason is for that. Just briefly. Yeah, up 3% as well. That would make sense, I guess. I think that's a weak reason, but every stock so far has been up in after hours. Yeah, I'm going to have to say that's probably it. They're all up. Sen looks pretty interesting too. But it's went up a lot too at the same time. Oh, those reverse splits are ugly. Never mind. Okay. That's solid. Markets. Dow up 0.07%, S&P 0.13%, Nasdaq 0.21%, oil up 0.66%. But yeah, Mullen, you were down today, so if you are going to see another move, it wouldn't surprise me to see it here tomorrow or Friday. There's definitely a lot of attention on the stock. You've kind of washed out some people, you know, and this is really a kind of a consolidation day over anything. I mean, you've seen this was kind of, if you want to call it the first shakeout, we still had a 10.69% positive day, but we were up like 35% at the high. So if somebody was going to panic, probably started there. Next day, 3%. It was decent, but today, 6%. It would make sense to see another move, right? You'll usually see these rallies that go up pretty violently, like Mullen has done, and then once you kind of start to plateau out and really get that consolidation in there, that's when you can make the next move up, because nothing is ever straight up to the moon. Like GameStop and AMC were like the only stocks I can recall that have pretty much been straight up, that are, I guess, bigger companies, more known companies. Sometimes you just see those ones and you're like, what the hell? Yeah, but I still own my covered calls. I think I'm pretty much break even on them. And then I do have 500 shares still, which if I have to sell my shares at $5, I won't mind it too much. I would have made $3,000. So could go higher though at the same time. HD, Home Depot. Do you see Apple? Dude, Apple right now, if Apple was not green today, the markets would have been terrible. This is also, I should point out, it's kind of crazy. Apple is seen as like a rush to safety. Is like a safety trade, right? People are like, hey, you know, if any tech company is going to do well, it's going to be Apple. That's why you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green days in a row. And you're seeing that big divergence. Usually the SPY and Apple are pretty much 1-to-1. But the fact that you're seeing this, I think it'll actually make for a really good earnings trade, because, you know, I think it's going to be really hard to beat out their 2021 numbers with no stimulus. But taxes going back, a lot of people do get new phones, things like that. So, you know, I would be pretty, you know, not pedal to the metal on it just yet, but yeah. HD, don't tell me Home Depot did some crazy shit. No, I didn't. Oh, like go down? Yeah, that's. It's possible if you're talking about Home Depot going down. Yeah, no, it's possible. Home Depot's not a huge well, it can move, but it usually doesn't too big. So yeah, these have been pretty big moves for Home Depot, and they're up a lot. And a good reason for it is all of the cost being up so much too. But you are under the 20-day moving average, yeah. Still, we had broke above that, came straight back under. So that's definitely a bearish sign. When you're having problems staying above the 20-day moving average, that's a huge negative. Right? If we pull up oh shit. Jesus Christ. Hope that wasn't too loud. I just punched the mic. Now if we pull up AMC, put it on the Bollinger Bands, you can see the 20-day simple moving average, and it's so messy. I do apologize. But this is the 20-day simple moving average in the Bollinger Bands. We had a very hard time breaking above 20 and pretty much couldn't do it. When we did, we broke over it for about a week right here, and then, fell under it, went over it a little bit, and then fell under it. And it was resistance for a while, couple times in here, resistance. We've broke cleanly above that. That's a very bullish sign. If you look at Apple too, I mean, I could tell you right now, they're going to be well above their 20-day moving average. Yeah, right. So that's the first thing that I like to look at. Just right now, you're seeing such a correlation, right? Like play with me here, right? This is bearish. You broke under the 20-day. If you would have sold out here or bought puts, and then once it breaks above the 20-day, if you would have bought calls, you would have rode these calls all the way up to the top at 182. So I like that. And it refreshes pretty much on a daily basis. So when there is a change, you can see it pretty fast. But yeah, Apple is firmly in bullish territory, but so is Home Depot looks pretty damn bearish. And a lot of HD, right? Like what I was going to say. I get off topic a lot, but there's always a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I seen the Home Depot racist stuff that they had going on. That was wild actually when I seen that. But the stay-at-home trade, all of the stay-at-home trades have gotten beat down. That's why Home Depot it hit 420, and it was at 240 pre-pandemic. So to think it couldn't come down to, 260, 270 is not crazy to imagine. It could go lower than that. You've seen a lot of stocks that are well under their pre-pandemic levels. I mean, look at PayPal or Square. They've grown their revenue 35%. I don't know exactly what Home Depot has done. I imagine it's good, but not even that. But also at the same time, if you start to see like building material prices come down, that could be really good. I'm not sure where it stands, but I know some things have went down. So some of those margins might take a little bit of a hit. I actually like that one. The fact that you're under the 20-day and we were only above it for a couple of days definitely shows a lot. And that racist shit just does not help. I mean, no. You want to be neutral if you're on Wall Street, if anything. That's where Facebook fucks up so much. That's why I would never invest in Facebook. I don't care for Facebook like that. I rarely ever get on it. I have one. Rarely ever get on it. It's just they lean too far left. Like you can't even say somewhat normal. Like, for an example, I was joking with one of my longtime friends. She's a girl, and said something along the lines of like, we're gonna fight or something like that, joking around. Facebook banned me. I'm like, dude, like I could never invest in that company. You gotta be just. So if you start doing like racist shit, and I seen it, like privilege to use the bathroom and all this weird, that's just weird. I don't get that. Yeah, Facebook sucks. And that's the funniest part too, is like Wall Street don't realize it, but like my sister, she's 16. 16. And her and all of her friends use Snapchat. Everybody she knows uses Snapchat. That's younger, and Wall Street don't get that yet because they're older. So that's where I want to park my money if we're talking about social media, or TikTok, but they're, can't really invest in them directly, and it's China, so I don't know about China. We the retail are power, baby. Facebook ain't going away. No, I don't think Facebook's going away, but I think Snapchat is definitely has a good chance to steal a lot of market share. And Snapchat has had it's been around for a while. It was around when I was in high school, like what was that? Long time ago. Long time ago. And but they never really figured out how to monetize the right way until a couple of years ago. But I first bought Snapchat at $7, so that's been a solid one. I can't complain. Yo, apes, what's going on? Gotta bid that stock up. Here you go. Make your trade. There you go. So I'm calling the broker. I'm a big shot. I'm a baby. Said bye.
Hello? What's for you?
I've got no social media at all. 40 years old. That's honestly great. Like
Bye-bye.
I don't really ever get on it, so I'll go, a long time without getting on it, and then like my family, like my grandmas and really my grandmas, they'll be like, what happened? Is everything okay? Haven't seen you on. I'm like, yeah, I just hate Facebook.
Who is it?
Teddy Zane is actually a bigger clown than Lou. Who's Teddy Zane? Can I like low-key look him up right now? Is that frowned upon?
Please.
Is it a YouTuber? Oh.
Who are you talking to? She's making business deals right now. Come on, you wanna come downstairs?
Interesting. He gets decent views. 35 minutes, 631 views. That's pretty decent.
Goodbye.
Never seen him though. Never seen him. Sometimes people will ask me about somebody, and I've never heard of them before though. Where are you from? Michigan. Michigander. Terrible. Michigan's like, let me tell you how Michigan is. It's either ghetto as hell or country. That's it. There's no in between. Hardly ever. But, it's good. To affect his brain if there is. Now I'm curious. Now I'm just curious,
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. I don't personally care, like,
Bye.
I can't really draw a conclusion from the few seconds of the videos that I've seen. It doesn't look like there's a lot of like due diligence there.
Let me see.
A lot of talking and stuff like that. Like, I personally don't like this kind of stuff. I see why people do, but I'm more of like, give me the data, give me the opinion, give me whatever facts you have, and that's that. Like, I can't believe anything anyone says if there's not something behind it, if that makes sense. I can't believe you know somebody that knows somebody that told you something that it's going to happen on a day or whatever the case is. I can't roll with that. I can't put my money behind that. Now, if I see the SEC is implementing rule, 10B001 or something on a certain day, I could roll with that. So, who are you talking about? I'm Canadian, Michigan. Oh yeah, we're right across the pond. My ex lives in Port Huron. Yeah, I'm pretty close to there, actually. Bigger clown than Lou. Is that even possible? Oh, man.
Okay.
JR, thank you for all your information. It helps me build my confidence. You always help me see another perspective, baby. That's what I like to hear. That is what I like to hear. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the donation and, you know, the words too. And I hope that's what all of you guys get. It is a different perspective, even if I might be wrong sometimes. Or, just not have it right. I try to look at things in a different way and take in the whole situation, whether it's got to do with the Fed, the AMC, or another trade, or like the BBIG ideas, right? Like, hopefully you made some money on that. We've been talking about it for a while. Trey did too. He was actually the first one to talk about it, so I can't take full credit there. But yeah, I think that's pretty important to get out of videos, and I wish people kind of did that more, if that makes sense. Kind of hard to explain, but talk about the whole picture. But thank you, I appreciate it. But sometimes I'm wrong though. Everything is hearsay until you see it. Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I don't know. And then half the people, like, I don't know if he beefs with somebody or like why people are calling him a clown right now. Honestly, never seen him before. Never seen a video, which is quite surprising, honestly, because I feel like I know everybody. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. I started reading comments, but oh yeah. I just don't like when people half the people are just here to argue with other people, and that's not productive. If I want to watch people argue or fight, I'm gonna drive to the hood or something. It's not entertainment. I guess to me it's not entertainment. Entertainment. Do you do something with your donation? Not directly. YouTube takes most of it. Honestly, I think the split is really, really bad. Like a 40-60 or 50-50, something like that. So you don't get a lot of it, but when AMC squeezes, I plan to donate quite a bit. I was thinking half, or just depends what it comes out to, right? I'm going to make sure I get my money back or whatever. And probably start, some kind of different portfolio for Ling Ling. Definitely want to do that. But yeah, I plan to donate a good chunk. Hard to say because I don't know exactly what it is, but or what I would even want to donate it for. I think I made a community post about that not too long ago, a couple months ago maybe. You would stay at home. It doesn't sound too bad. I do a lot. I have the rental properties. I still work another job. I only work there 4 days a week though, and it works perfect with YouTube schedule. But it's a jam-packed day. But the only reason I work there still is because I can do YouTube, because that's what I'm really passionate about. I love helping people make money. That's where it's up to people to make their own, decisions. I give the opinion, and I put my money where my mouth is, where my opinion is. But I love doing this. Nothing more in the world do I want than all of you guys to make a shit ton of money. Like when I hit the Facebook puts, $50 into like $3,000 a piece was some trades people had. I forget what I have, like 70 into 5,000, something like that. And I had 5 of them, so I made like, it was like 18,000 when I cashed out. And it was cool. Like, it made me very happy to see that other people hit the trade too. That's what I like. But yeah, sitting at home wouldn't be bad. But I also have a real estate license, and that's cool. But it's tough with everything else. JR, Twitter should be pinned in any of the videos. The comment section, the pinned comment. If it's not, it'll be on the other one. I believe I did that today. Sometimes I'm in such a rush that I just forget to do it. I have an appointment for a deal or something. Something's always going on. Royal Oak, like Michigan Royal Oak. I'm from Florida, but living in Austin, Texas. Yeah, a lot of people have moved to Texas. How's futures looking? Pretty good. Nasdaq up 0.30%. If we don't get any bad news here overnight, I mean, the markets have priced in a lot of bad news too. The markets are expecting 7 to 9 rate hikes this year. Psh, that's why it's crazy when the bonds are going up, because bond prices, because they should be falling, expecting a higher yield. But I think I've talked about that enough. They're pricing in the probability for, some kind of chemical weapons attack. That's been, topic of conversation. The recession the UK is about to go in, as well as Europe. COVID in China, supply chains getting worse, a potential food crisis. Like, they're pricing in a lot. So you're really going to have to see dramatic escalation to really get another big drawback in the markets. Now, I kind of think this rally was a little bit overdone in some names, like Apple. I think that's way overdone. Some names, obviously not as much, that have fallen more, but yeah. You said Grand Rapids. Oh yeah, I know that's in Michigan. So what does your gut tell you for tomorrow/Friday? Not financial advice. My gut tells me that it's tough, because I try to see things logical, but just 3 days ago we were not pricing in the probability of a 0.5% rate hike, or now even 2. There's Fed members that are talking about bringing the federal funds rate up to 3% by the end of this year. And bond prices went up 2% today, and the markets fell. What'd they fall? 1.2% across the board. That makes absolutely no sense. That is a fear move. And when you see those fear moves, there's typically a bigger reason behind it. There's something that is going on. I don't know exactly what that is. COVID, Russia, Ukraine, something is going on there. So my gut tells me we'll likely see a green day tomorrow, and then you'll probably see a sell-off into close on Friday, because nobody, especially if there is something behind this bond move, nobody's really going to want to hold stocks over the weekend. That's been a common trend, not as much now, but it was for a long time. Just sell off at the end of the day or rally into the close. One or the other, like every day. Will you still do YouTube after MOS? Oh yeah. Yeah, people ask me like what will you do, when you hit a crazy trade, or just get it right one big time, MOAS or anything else. Oh yeah, I'll still do this. Like, I love doing this. Like, it's not a job, it's a passion project. I like to call it that, a passion project. I mean, I made videos for 6 months before I made a dime, but I never even planned to make money off of it. The only reason I started was to discuss and help try to make people, make money or steer them in better directions. Because I mean, there was a lot of weird shit going on December 2020. But try to provide perspective. But really, most of that was one, wanting to help people hit some nice trades and do some big things for the life. There's a lot of potential there, and I realized that young, but you're never too old or anything like that to start this. I've had trades $15 into 3,000 a piece, or like the Facebooks, $50 into 5,000, or countless of other trades that are huge. Like there's no age limit on that. So that was a big focus of it, but just mainly to communicate with other people about stocks, because nobody else in my life knows about stocks enough to care about them. They don't see the potential there. And then in case something happened to me, like my daughter would be able to listen to me and see me forever. But that's it.
Did you give that to her?
No. But if make a little money, that's fine. But I know we are getting off topic, but you interest me. That's good. I snowmobile so much in Alpena, it was crazy. Oh wow. Said Alpena, yeah, that's like what's that on this side over here, I believe. On Charge Point. I seen a Charge Point charger in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I was like, wow. Like I want to watch this stock a little bit more. Maybe start going in small on a position, but it was a good sign, like a good omen, I think, to finally see a charger. Like anywhere, like Michigan, we don't have a lot of EV vehicles, mostly trucks and old cars. Honestly, that's a lot of what you'll see in Michigan, older cars. Not too many EVs though. Sometimes you'll see a Tesla and people are like, Tesla, driving down the road. But yeah, to see a charger, I like it. I don't have any specific opinion on what it'll do in the next like days or weeks, but I think they're pretty interesting given their valuations are not too high if they can fulfill on obviously the demand that's going to be there for charging stations. That's something that it's almost guaranteed, like damn near guaranteed, that they will be bigger companies in the future. Anything can happen. They can go through liquidity problems or whatever, but there's gonna be a need for that. No way around it. But at the same time, I would do ChargePoint and Blink, because you never know which one's gonna outweigh the other. Kind of diversify within a segment a little bit more. Cover your position, take your profit, and hold what shares you have left. Post your videos on other platforms, get more members. Yeah, the members are cool. Nobody ever signs up, but it definitely makes the name stand out a lot more. Smash the like. Yeah, smash the like. That's a noble reason, bro. Yeah, that's honestly the biggest thing when it came down to it. But then you don't really know what to expect though when you first make a video or like record yourself. It's weird. A lot of people don't want to do it. They're just like camera shy, which that's fine, but once you do it, it's a shit ton of work. Don't get me wrong. It is a shit ton of work, but I think it's fun. What are your that's where Alpena is. Yeah, Alpena. I've never really been on that side of the state too much. I've went to like Traverse City a lot. I've went to Marquette, and that's like right on the border of Canada, quite a few times. I actually got arrested in Marquette because I didn't have a proof of insurance on me, and there's no phone service up there, and apparently they can't look it up in their computers anymore. I'm like, are you serious? I was like, I'm up here to look at to to see the waterfalls, officer. And I was actually taking my girlfriend to the hospital at the time at like 2:30 in the morning. So I already didn't want to go. And I'm like, man, I'm never coming to this city ever again. Damn it. That was a good time, though. Good time. But I felt like I was being bribed, right? So when they pulled me over, I didn't have any cash on me. Like a very little amount. And pulled me over like 2 blocks away from the hospital, like turn there. And I didn't know where I was going, but they pulled me over just because I was the only car on the street, like out at all. Marquette, there's decent town, but not too many people are out that late. And then he pulls me over. He's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, show him the GPS. I'm like, "I'm going to the hospital, and I'm taking her." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll follow you to the hospital." And then they let her go inside, and they're like, "All right, can you step out the vehicle?" I'm like, what did I do? And then come out. They're searching the car because they're like, basically, go say goodbye, right? Fucking we're gonna have to take you in because you don't have proof of insurance, which is wild to me. I didn't even know that was a thing. I had just switched insurance and all that. So go in. She's like crying. It was a mess. And then I come out, and they're like, "Well, if you can go to the ATM right now and pull out $250, we'll let you go, and then just write you like a notice to appear." I'm like, "Huh?" So then I try. I'm like, I mean, I'll try, but at that time the bank wouldn't let me pull out that kind of money, and I have like a bunch of cash at home, so my mom had to drive all the way up there. It's like a 7-hour drive the next night, but like that was a fun one. Like that is a fun one. Yeah, that's a pretty long drive to just do overnight like that. EVgo versus ChargePoint versus Volta. Yeah, interesting. EVgo. Imagine saying this is the short squeeze and you should get out now. Oh man, that's far from the truth. I mean, not to like discredit anybody else that makes videos, but I've been in the markets a long, well, it feels like a long time now. Just because I've dedicated pretty much, like, I don't even listen to music. I listen to other videos to get different opinions about everything. Listen to everybody there is, right? Just for the opinion's sake. And that's what I do. Due diligence is what I love to do. And I'm weird, I guess. I guess I'm a nerd. But a lot of people you can tell that are making videos that haven't been in the markets for a long time. Just stuff that they say, it's like, this isn't anything, right? Or there's a lot of examples I can get into a nitpick, but I don't want to like call anybody specifically out. But when you've been in the market for a long time, you can kind of tell like, are you sure there, buddy? But I don't ever comment on people's videos and do that. That doesn't help anything. Yeah, they shook you down. Yes. It was bad. That was it though. That was it. And then I had like Tylenols. They're like a red coating. And I don't know if they were like marked on them. I can't. Well, yeah, I think they were, cuz they're like, "What are these?" I'm like, "Is there a mark on them?" And they're like, "They're not in a bottle." I'm like, "They're Tylenol." And obviously didn't get in trouble for that one. I'm like, man, just trying to find every reason. It said everything in Michigan is rusted out. What the hell? Yeah, that's true. That salt, pff, good luck. Death Note was real. All names I would put down. Making money on options to cover my shares of AMC. Plus, I can afford for my initial investment to disappear. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I mean, if you sell even covered calls, you can do that, and that doesn't hurt uh the movement, right? Actually, the opposite, because you're acting like the market maker in that case. So imagine if a market maker or somebody else is trying to buy a position, hedge fund, whoever it is, the market maker, they sell those options. So you're essentially acting as the market maker. So you're not adding additional downside pressure. It doesn't work like that. You'll actually enable more upside pressure on a potential gamma squeeze, because you're not going to be you're probably not going to hedge out that position. You're probably just going to, if you sold a covered call at 40 and the stock goes to 50, you're either going to roll out of that option, which does nothing for the pressure, the velocity of a squeeze, or take the loss if the stock closes above 40. That's why I love it, especially with AMC too. But I don't do it all the time, but AMC has crazy premium though. I mean, you could make just totally free money every week if you wanted to, or every month. You really want to go out at least 30 days. 45 days is prime, because that's when you start to get a lot of theta decay, and it's the best as far as how far you actually have to go out and whatnot, and what premium you'll collect. Really good strategy though. And that's kind of what you can do for passive income too. Like Mullen. Was it Mullen? I believe it was Mullen what I was looking at. You could have bought 100 shares and sold a covered call for, I believe it was the $5 $5 call, collected like 15%. So you would have got a guaranteed 15% return on your investment, and also agreed to sell your stock for like double the price. I believe that was in the low $2 range or something like that. So you can actually get like a 10 to 20% return almost every time you do it, especially on high volatility stocks, and always guarantee you'll make money. The only thing that you don't ever want to do, never do this, is if you got like a AMC at, just gonna use that as an example. If your average cost is 30, you never want to sell a call under the 30 strike. You at least want to go to 31 or 35 or 40, because that's the price you were essentially agreeing to sell your stock if the price were to go to 50 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. But you can always roll out of them too. And I had somebody ask, how do you roll out? And that's something I would like to cover here in a second. He said, bro, found something? Is that me? I don't know. Did I say something? My longtime girlfriend lives in Lansing. Lansing. Yeah, I used to live in Flint, but hated it. So I moved. Yeah. Little too ghetto and crazy for me. I trade stocks. I'm not like, I'm not trying to get mugged. And decipher what you hear and implement what you think. I like that. How can AMC trade 168 million shares today and only be up 13.6%? Good question. If, how do I say it? Like, it does kind of highlight, this doesn't make too much sense, right? There's that argument. Ling. There's that argument to it. But if you want to get technical too, it's all about the velocity. So, like you could have a stock that is, up less than 14% with a higher amount of volume. And then it comes down to float and all of that. But for AMC's case, you've seen high volume days with very small moves before. Let's go see if we can quickly find one. Let's look at the volume candles here. See, like right here, that was 124 million shares, and you were up 5%. Or this day, 76 million volume, down 0.5%. Some days obviously are going to be big, but 107 million shares, you were up 5.5%. You know, some days can be big, but it doesn't have to be big in one direction or the other. And that comes down to the velocity, and it's kind of hard to explain. Honestly, I've tried to do this, and I've tried to explain it to other people. And imagine it like people are bidding, right? If people are not like an auction, if somebody is not really willing to continuously outbid somebody else and pay a higher amount, the price of it's not going to go up. So you need to see somebody outbidding each other just over and over again to see the price continue to go up. And then same thing to the downside as well. If people are not really willing to sell the stock as much, you're less likely to see those big drops. And when you do specifically see like those big drops in AMC's case, when there is a lot of people that are willing to buy the stock, you can still see drops, but you'll tend to hold up a lot better, and you'll tend to eventually come back up a little bit. But it's all about the velocity. And then on the other side of it, like like arguing for manipulation or whatnot, it's very hard to see in general how you can get that much volume on a given day. But there's like market makers. How do I explain this? Market makers are allowed to provide liquidity to both sides. So that's kind of what they do, and they can basically like float phantom shares. And that's, I mean, I want to say it doesn't happen as much, but it's you really just never know. But they can create like phantom shares and all of that, and that's where you get like failure to delivers. It's market makers are allowed to do that. So I would really like to see what the FTDs are going to look like here. His life now gotta feed the brain to grow. Yeah. How can I? Yeah, I see. We ain't leaving. Pay me, Kenny. What about Lou versus Wall Street? What about Lou? They're shaking the banana tree. Hodl tight. You see the market crashing because of AMC. I only use, but you're probably just going to secure my shares. I'm doing that with HGen. Yeah, it's good to it's not a bad strategy, you know. You can make your initial investment back plus some if you keep doing that. But do you see the market crashing because of AMC? Yes and no. If the price just goes astronomically high and they're not able to control it, which is going to happen, there's really no question of that. I would have a doubt in my mind if you've seen the short interest go down at all, slowly or faster. It's not going down at all. They're not slowly covering. They will be forced to get out of their positions. Add on to that all the synthetic shorts and likely all of the gamma activity we will see as well. You see what a good couple days will do for the options traders out there. They go crazy, and a gamma squeeze can be more powerful than a short squeeze. Mix the two together, mix the FOMO, the really the lack of liquidity that you are going to see. We're getting into that. Like even my margin went from 2.5% to 3%, or 2% to 2.5%. It went up 0.5% since the first rate hike. So you'll start to see that it becomes more expensive to borrow stocks and to be on margin and to do this. So you'll see, or in theory you should see, shorts covering at a more aggressive pace, if that makes sense. Not able to hold on as much. So it's possible, but I mean, I think the market's going to crash by itself, just given the expectations of growth. If Apple did, like, even the last quarter, 100 and just stupid numbers of revenue, the largest companies in the world, like $124 billion of revenue. Good luck surpassing that without stimulus, or even 81 billion. Like, if these numbers start to come in bad, that's the fundamental valuation. That means things are going to have to recorrect, and likely pretty quickly. Like, you could see a 20% drop in Apple if earnings are terrible. Don't know if that's going to happen, but you see what's going on with Russia, Europe, China, all of that. I think it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Timing, it's the hard part, because puts, they tend to go down. Calls are a lot easier to actually hit, right? Because stocks tend to go up. So if you buy a leap on a stock, odds of you making money are a lot better than if you buy a leap call. Odds of making money are a lot better rather than buying a leap put, because, like I said, stocks tend to go up. So if you're wrong on a leap put, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and statistically, you're probably going to get destroyed. So the timing on it is the tough part. But I think it's definitely coming down. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Vlog. You are always here, man. I appreciate it. And I hope you hit a fat bag. I mean, I hope all of you guys hit just a crazy trade. And I hope you guys put too much money in it. You shouldn't. And then you hit a crazy trade. But don't do that. Don't do that. A small amount can turn into a large amount. But wouldn't that be like the best luck ever? Like the one trade you went way too big on accident or something else, and it turns into just crazy money. That can happen. That can happen. But thank you, Vlog. You're the man. Win crash. Yeah. Where's Chris? We need a win crash. Win Nanny and Lambo. Man. I would too. I would, like, if AMC does squeeze like that, yeah, I'm definitely taking care of the Nanny. Like, I don't even know what they make. Like, what? Minimum wage is different everywhere, but like 20, 25 an hour, I don't know, but that's like teachers and cops and everything else. Like, if you got that kind of responsibility, I think you need to be paid damn well to care, right? Like military, I think they should be paid even more too. But I mean, I don't know. What do I know? Shorts have lost control. Yeah, no, they really have. $22. That's probably like a. It's been a long day. I apologize. You're probably in here, but the fight for 801, like you guys said in here earlier, yeah, that's looking like the case around 22, and I think that's when things can really get out of hand. You go above 22, then what's to stop us from going to that next level? I mean, $25 would be the next level, honestly. Or at least it looks like it. That's where the 100-day moving average is, $24.98. That'd be a good time. But, expect to see a consolidation or day or whatnot. But I don't think you're going to dramatically come back down. It's not like a pump and dump type of stock. And, any more, I don't want to call them sophisticated trader, because you don't have to be sophisticated. You could be brand new to the markets. But, when you look at trades, or at least I do, I like to say, hey, what's my worst case scenario? And AMC, not a bad worst case scenario, even from these prices. Like, it's got a business behind it. We're opening up. Well, we've pretty much been open up, but 100% of theaters are opened up. And lots of movies coming out. People are going to take advantage of AMC in that aspect. But even on top of all of that, like, the option flow sentiment for today is crazy. I watch this on a daily basis. and we seen $60 million of institutional option flows today, 86 orders with a positive order value of 90%. You don't see that. You don't ever see that. This $60 million is about a week and a half's worth of money typically for AMC option order flows. And these are your whales. These are basically interesting option flows, like unusual option flow. That probably sounds more familiar to a lot of people. These are orders that are over $25,000 a piece, single orders. So they're your institutional investors, and it's overwhelmingly bullish. So I tend to think, just like I was talking about earlier with the bonds and rich people knowing things before we do. That's why things tend to move before you actually know why they are moving. Could be the case with BBIG. We can be hopeful on that one. I tend to think hedge funds and institutions also know things that we don't, or before we know them. So to see that I think that tells a story of itself. Said, not to sound like a downer, but what really has me worried is if they do us like LME did to nickel. Does have any thoughts on this? Yeah, that has been a bit of a concern for myself, but it's kind of like, and this is only my opinion, obviously, because who am I? The markets don't care about what I personally think, but there's a certain aspect of reputation damage that you can never get back by doing that, because there's always somebody that is winning and losing on a trade. So if somebody was betting that nickel would go up, and then they finally opened the exchange and then it went down like 15% the next day it was open, like you burn somebody. And likely if you're shorting or going long on a commodity, you're probably an institutional investor, so you really put a bad taste in people's mouth. That's like the Russian market that is opening up tomorrow for 33 stocks. Like, nobody is going to put their money in the Russian stock market, not because of sanctions, but because they closed it down for a month. No, you got to be crazy out of your mind to put your money I don't even like to call it an asset, because it's really like a liability at this point, in the Russian stock market, if they could close it down for a month or a year if they wanted to, or forever, right? That reputation damage, you will never get that back, or it'll be a very long time. So I don't think America would do that necessarily, especially with something like AMC or GameStop, because it would be so politicized. I mean, you still hear about what happened in January, like disabling the buy button and all of that. But if that happened again, they just shut the whole thing down, it would you'd see some pretty bad backlash, I believe. At least that's my optimistic view, I guess. But it's possible. They have the power to do that, but it just, it's such a bad look and such a bad move. Honestly. Had to sign in to show you paid some love. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, everybody, on that note, hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. It's a fun, friendly, probably not family friendly all the time, but yeah, it's a good place to be. I think if you do like the London exchange, they would have done with the GME in January 21st. Yeah, I don't believe in like halting things for any reason besides like flat out manipulation. Like, like a squid coin, if that happens with penny stocks, usually OTC, and they don't care as much about that. Just to be flat out truthful here, you don't even have to report on a quarterly basis if you're an OTC stock. You can basically list a dummy company on the OTC markets if you got the money to buy your shares, essentially, give the SEC your money, list your stock, there can be scams like that all the time. It's not that hard to cover that up, and it happens all the time on the OTC markets. But for a stock that's listed on, the NASDAQ and all of that, you're not really going to see huge levels of manipulation on a squid coin type level, a rug pull. So I don't really believe in them halting stocks at all on NASDAQ or Dow or S&P or any of that. Because there's a big difference between these markets and the OTC. The OTC is like the wild, wild west. Yo, Ling Ling. Ling Ling. Okay, I'm going to get off here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love the conversation. Come bring it tomorrow night as well. Oh. Heartbroken. You want to say hi? Say hi. Say hi. Say hello. She'll never stop talking. Now she won't talk, but say AMC. Can you say AMC?
Papa.
Baba. You guys heard that one. So yeah, I'm gonna go get her baba. And yeah, you guys enjoy your night. Futures are looking really good. Really, really good. As far as the NASDAQ, 0.33%. Yeah, she's dragging me. So thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate